Morning, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with me today at Gold Forum Americas. My name is Chad Peters. I'm President and CEO of Ridgeline Minerals. Our trading symbol is RDG. We're listed on the TSX Venture. And today I'm going to take a little time, walk you through our company, and tell you why I believe we're going to make Nevada's next gold discovery. So, our cautionary statement. I'm a geo, so there will be a few forward-looking statements here, but I will try to keep it to a minimum. Now, why invest in Ridgeline Minerals? We are a Nevada-focused gold explorer. We have a large land package in Nevada of 116 square kilometers across 3 projects in both the Carlin and Battle Mountain Eureka trends. These are the trends in Nevada. They're what built the state into one of the largest gold producers worldwide, and we think we're in a great spot. So, a few things to mention about us. I co-founded the company in 2018 as a private co alongside the owner of a drilling company. What that means for us is that my partner agreed to give a 50,000 foot drilling contract to Ridgeline as part of his equity stake in the company. In return, we get a significant discount to drilling rates, which gives us a large competitive advantage to our peers. Not only does it do that, but we also put more feet in the ground with every dollar, which allows us to increase our chances of making a discovery early in the exploration cycle. We have, like as I mentioned, the large land package. We have a catalyst-rich fall ahead of us. So we're drilling 6,000 meters across all 3 projects. So we think we have a very exciting fall ahead of us. Our team has a lot of experience in Nevada. We've discovered multiple multi-million ounce gold deposits across our team. And, we have significant skin in the game. I'm the largest shareholder in the company at just under 8%. And our team collectively owns 17% of the company post IPO. So we're firmly aligned. I don't have any other side hustles or ventures, so I'm very motivated to make this a success. As I mentioned with our team, we have myself and Mike Harp. I was with Premier Gold Mines, led the discovery of the CSD Gap deposit with Premier Gold Mines, as I mentioned. That turned into a joint venture with Barrick. My vice president of exploration, Mike Harp, he was with Gold Standard Ventures pretty much from when they were a penny stock all the way through their discoveries on the Railroad District and where they are now. So we have a very strong team, and we built out our board and management around that. So we have a lot of very experienced folks in both the capital markets and the technical side that help guide our team to make the right decisions. So as I mentioned, we're aligned with our shareholders. We have a very solid corporate structure with only 48 million shares outstanding post IPO. We raised $5 million at 45 cents on the IPO, which closed August 13th. August 17th was our first trading day, and the stock has performed very well since that day. So as I mentioned before, we have management owning 17%, 19% owned by public companies headed up by EMX Royalty, who we spun the original projects out of to start Ridgeline. We have over 12% institutions headed up by Paul Stevens of Stevens Investments, Extract Capital, and about 10 others that came in on the IPO. So we have a very good mix of institution and retail support. And I think that's why our stock has done as well as it has right out the gate. In total, we've raised about 9.7 million across the last 2 years. And with working capital and our IPO raise, we had just under 6 million at the close of the IPO. So a well-cashed up treasury, and we're set up for success if we have any positive drill results. Don't really need to get into why Nevada in any great detail. I think most of you here probably recognize that it's a premier jurisdiction, and Barrick believes so as well. You have Mark Bristow has been heavily pushing exploration in Nevada for Barrick and Nevada Gold Mines over the last year and a half, 2 years, and they're seeing a lot of success. So we believe we're in a great jurisdiction. We have 3 projects, as I mentioned before, Carlin East, Swift, and Salina, and it's a good balanced mix in our portfolio. We have a oxide opportunity right at surface, shallow oxide at Salina, which is showing some really encouraging initial results, as you may have seen from our press release just last week. And then we have Carlin East and Swift, which are core land positions beside some of the biggest gold mines in North America. So those are both high-grade underground opportunities, and the upside potential of either of these projects is pretty incredible. So we like to think that we've balanced our risk very effectively across all 3 projects, and we're going to advance all 3 of them this year. So first, I'm going to walk you through the Salina project, and then we'll go to Swift and Carlin East. So Salina is our smallest land package, actually, 26 square kilometers, oxide open pit, gold, silver targets. and it's 100% owned by Ridgeline. So we're going to be drilling 3,000 meters this year. We've already drilled 1,500 meters through our phase 1 and phase 2 programs, and we're heading into a phase 3 in October. So what I want to point out here on the left-hand side, the Salina project is 6 kilometers south of McEwen Mining's Golden Butte mine, which is currently not in production. But we have also 12 kilometers to the northeast, we have the Bald Mountain mine, which produces 150,000 ounces a year, and the Alligator Ridge mine, which was a really great historic oxide producing mine, produced over 1 million ounces at well over a gram per ton head grade. So a very, very good mine in its own days. On the right-hand side, I want to show what we've done so far in drilling. So phase 1 and phase 3 drilling is listed here. You can see the green dots are phase 1, red dots are phase 2. We've drilled 14 holes for a total of 1,500 meters across both phases this year. And we've also done some trenching, which showed some incredibly strong results. So in trench 4, we hit 38 meters of 0.75 gold, 49 silver. Trench 5 hit 50 meters of 0.64 gold and 15.8 silver. We've since followed up with drilling downstrike of those intercepts, and we've hit up to 29 meters of 0.38 gold and 65 grams silver in hole 14. So we're very encouraged by what we see. Phase 3 is going to focus on the gray dots that you see on the map, along some highly elevated gold, arsenic, and antimony anomalies between the Tyrant and Maximus fault zones. So I'm going to walk through that a little bit here with you. These are just some of our assays that we hit so far. I'm just going to highlight a few of them since there is a lot to read through here. But a few highlights include hole 7 in the Chinchilla area, which hit 3 meters of 0.4 gold and 792 grams per ton silver. Now, if you put that into perspective, that is 11 grams per ton gold equivalent grade. That is pretty incredible when you think about something that is oxide and less than 100 meters below surface. So we're very excited by what we're seeing. We're seeing narrow, high grade, and we're seeing widespread low grade across multiple drill holes. So as I mentioned, hole 14 hit 29 meters of 0.38 gold, 65 grams silver, gold equivalent of 1.26 grams. And included within that was 9 meters of 0.51 gold and 40 grams silver at 1.06 gold equivalent. So we're seeing some great grades. We think we can do better, and we're heading into a phase 3 program, and we're going to prove that. I just want to look here. We'll show a Chinchilla, the AA prime long section here. We're looking northwest. And all I want to point out with this is you can see that with our drilling so far, we've hit consistent gold silver mineralization across almost half a kilometer in strike at this point. We don't believe we're in the core of the system yet. We're hitting widespread mineralization, but we're not quite there with the grade. And what we're seeing in the core isn't altered to the point where we think we're in the core of the system yet, which should see wider intercepts and higher grades. And we believe we're going to hit that with our phase 3 targeting along the Tyrant Fault. You can see just to the west of the cluster of drilling that we have, we'll be targeting a large geochemical anomaly along an upthrown fault block. Now, if you look to a kilometer to the south, down at the Juniper target area, we now have section BB prime, and it's the same general target. We've done less drilling at the Juniper target so far. We've hit sporadic grade, primarily focused along that Juniper fault. So we believe the northwest structures are what are controlling grade here at the Salina program. Phase 1 tested the northeasters. Part of phase 2 was testing the northeast faults as well. Those were what were carrying the high grade rock chips and the trench values at surface. So we had to rule that out first. We've since proven that the northwesters are where we want to be. And phase 3 is going to be at the Juniper area, is going to focus on drilling an upthrown fault block between the Tyrant and Maximus faults. Again, we see a significant gold, arsenic, and antimony anomaly right between those two fault zones where everything's being pushed up. So we strongly believe that we can improve on those results from phase 2. And we're going to drill 1,500 meters across both targets, which will equate to about 7 to 10 drill holes, depending on how deep we take them. We think it'll be a very exciting program. Now we're going to move over to Swift. Personally, Swift is my favorite project of all 3. It shows all of the key indicators of a buried Carlin type system. It's the kind of thing that you'd hope to stumble upon in Nevada. And we were able to pick up and consolidate 51 square kilometers of this land package. So we have high expectations. We're actually drilling that project right now. We're going to drill 2,000 meters or roughly 2 to 3 holes across the Fallen City target. We'll step back, assess what those results look like, and we still have time later in the year to come in and do a follow-up program. And that's well budgeted for. As I mentioned, our treasury is well cashed up. So we'll be working with a strong cash position and can strongly follow up on any of these results at any time. Main thing I want you to take away from this image here, is the location of Swift. So we are directly on trend of over 50 million ounces of gold that is on in resource from Nevada Gold Mines. So they have all of those mines are currently in production. Pipeline, Cortez Hills, Gold Rush, and 4 Mile are new discoveries that are on their way to production right now, and they have been touted as Barrick's next tier 1 asset. So very exciting times to be exploring in the Cortez district of the Battle Mountain Trend, and we're the next structural block to the northwest of the Pipeline mine. So we believe that we've kind of narrowed in on what we think is a core position on that trend. And if you look to the left-hand image here, that's arsenic anomalies that are in soils that are spread across the project. So those intersect the Cortez structural corridor, which we've mapped across the project. This is the same corridor that cuts down through Pipeline, Cortez Hills, all these areas. So what we're going to now do is come in and we're testing the Fallen City target, which is within the Cortez structural corridor, directly to the east of MCK-99-5A, which is the only drill hole to test lower plate host rocks. And that was in 1999. And if you look to this cross section here, we can see that drill intersect hit the right host rocks and hit 17 meters at 0.7 grams gold, 0.5 grams silver. Now that doesn't make a gold mine, right? That's not high enough grades. But what it does say is that you're very near a mineralized system. And I think when you're looking at a 50 square kilometer land package, if you can cut some of that early work out of there and know that you have an active Carlin type system near where you want to be drilling and near your target area, it gives you a lot of confidence with your targeting. And that's where we are now. So we're drilling up dip of that intercept in the Fallen City target area. And we believe that that is a better structural host and that there's a high probability of continuation of that system up into the same host rocks, but potentially into a more structurally controlled higher grade zone. So our Fallen City, 2001 is being drilled right now. We'll follow up with 2002. And depending on what results we see out of either one of those holes, we can either do a core hole to follow up on it or drill an additional RC hole to further enhance our understanding of the area. So we're very excited about what we see. 99-5A was drilled by Phelps Dodge in 1999 and never had a follow-up hole. And back in the 1990s, I understand that completely. I probably wouldn't have drilled a follow-up either. It's a pretty deep hole for 0.7 grams per ton gold. What they did miss was the fact that that's a sign of the bigger system, and we're excited to prove that we can hit higher grades within this larger area. Now I'm going to walk through Carlin East. It's a 39 square kilometer land package, high grade underground target, just like Swift. The difference being this project is right in the core of the North Carlin Trend. These kind of land positions don't come around very often. We were able to pick it up in a very down market in 2018. Times were still really tough, and I think we were able to time it really well. And we're very excited about what we're seeing from a geologic perspective now. So we're going to be testing that in late Q3 of 2020 with results. Late Q4. I apologize, and we'll be having drill results coming out before Christmas on that program. So this is located directly on trend of the Leeville mine. As you can see, Leeville is a 15 million ounce, roughly 10 plus gram per ton gold head grade. Very, very good high margin underground mine. And, we are only 3.5 kilometers to the north, directly on trend along the Four Corners and Lynn Fault zones, which bound the the Leeville deposit. We're directly adjacent to the Gold Strike pit. If you look to the image on the left, we're looking right at 40 million ounces of Gold Strike, roughly 10 million ounces of Genesis, and then the Meikle, Rodeo, Wren deposits as they head up to the northwest are still incredible deposits in their own right. I believe South Arturo is currently in production with Barrick and Premier Gold Mines. So still a very active area, and we believe that we can come in and prove that there's still potential in our project. The only drill holes on the project that reach lower plate are our holes that were drilled in 2019. They proved that lower plate host rocks are about 800 meters down. So, Barrick and Newmont previously owned the project. They thought it was closer to 1,500 to 2,000 meters down, which would be fairly deep. We were able to prove that it's about half that. And now we're going to come in and we hope that we can have some success at the crash zone, which is the yellow star. We'll look to the next image. This is what the crash zone would look schematically. This is our general target, our conceptual target. And our goal would be to come in, test that lower plate host rock directly adjacent to the Four Corners and Lynn Faults, right within the middle of them. This would be just a typical Leeville analog, very simple model. And the hope is to come in, prove that there's some excitement, and then go from there. So What gets me excited about the company is I like to think that we have multiple project catalysts over the next 2-3 months of the company. We're drilling all of our projects. We're not sitting on any one of them. We're going out. We're going to try to make a discovery, and I think we're already showing evidence of that with our phase 2 results coming out of Selena. I mean, we're in the pre-discovery phase at Selena. We're showing widespread gold and silver, some very good grades, and I think that our goal is to come out and announce a discovery after phase 3. Hopefully, we're able to do that. While we're waiting on Selena, we also have the results coming out of Swift, 2,000 meters, and then Carlin East in November we'll be drilling. That'll be a 1,000-meter hole. So I think it's a very exciting fall for us, and I hope that you think so as well. So just to summarize all of this, why invest in Ridgeline? We are fully funded to complete our exploration activities across the rest of 2020. We will finish the year with about 3.6 million Canadian in the treasury, which is more than enough to cover all of our overhead and still do an aggressive follow-up campaign in 2021. Not on top of that as well, we also have $3.4 million Canadian worth of warrants that are currently in the money and at 55 cents. And those have an accelerator on them at 85 cents. So if we can get those exercised, we'll have an additional 3.4 million in the treasury to end the year. And we think we're in a strong position between our drilling contract and our experienced team. I think we can go out and make a discovery. So thank you for taking the time to take a minute and listen to what I have to say, and hope to talk to you all soon.